If you're 60 and have around $1.5 million saved, you might be wondering, can you retire now and enjoy spending about $10,000 a month? It's a big question, and a lot of people are in the same boat. They've worked hard, saved well, and now they're asking, can I really enjoy my money without worrying I'll run out? Let me walk you through a real-life example that might help. John and Linda are both 60, living in Florida, and have saved up $1.5 million across their Roth IRA, 401k, a joint brokerage account, and some cash in savings. Their home is completely paid off and worth about $850,000. They're dreaming of a comfortable retirement, $8,300 a month to cover regular expenses, and an extra $1,700 for travel and fun while they're still active. That totals $10,000 a month. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch. Spending at that rate means they'd need to withdraw about 8% of their savings each year. That's pretty high and well above what most financial planners consider safe. They tried a few online retirement calculators, but the answers were all over the place, and that left them stuck, excited to enjoy their money, but scared they'd outlive it. Their only guaranteed income in retirement will be Social Security. John would receive about $3,230 a month at full retirement age, and Linda would get $2,232, but they're thinking of claiming early at 62. That's something a lot of folks consider, so it's worth looking at how that decision might affect the big picture. Now, one of the first things we looked at was how much risk they were actually taking with their investments. Turns out, their portfolio was around 65% in stocks, which is a bit aggressive for folks just stepping into retirement. If we had another market downturn, like in 2008, they could lose over $500,000. That's a serious hit. To help protect them, we reorganized their money into 3 different buckets. The first bucket holds about $650,000 in safe, stable investments, things like cash, CDs, and short-term bonds to cover the next few years of spending without needing to touch the stock market. The second bucket has another $650,000 in more balanced investments to support them in years 5 through 15. And the third bucket holds about $200,000 in stocks for long-term growth, since they won't need that money for a while. That simple change lowered their risk, but it actually improved their average return too. Plus, if the market dropped, they'd lose a lot less money, about $200,000 less than before. Then, we took a closer look at their Social Security plan. Instead of filing early at 62, we ran the numbers and found that if Linda waits until 66 and 3 months, and John waits until 69, they'd receive about $70,000 more in total over their lifetimes. That's a meaningful difference, especially since every extra dollar from Social Security means less pressure on their savings. After putting it all together, the new portfolio, the updated Social Security timing, we checked how much they could safely spend each month. The number came out to about $7,376. That's still quite a bit lower than their $10,000 goal, but at least now it's based on solid math, not guesswork. And here's the thing, if the market does well and their investments grow to $1.9 million, they might be able to spend as much as $9,627 a month. But if we hit a rough patch and the market drops by 30%, they'd need to cut back to around $7,000 a month. That's what we call financial guardrails, flexible spending based on how things are going. Now, how can they get closer to that $10,000 number? First, if they follow the Social Security strategy we just mentioned, that increases their safe spending to about $7,745 a month. Next, they could downsize their home. Right now, they've got a big house they don't really need anymore. If they sold it and bought a smaller place for $550,000, they could invest the difference, around $300,000, and that would bring their safe monthly spending up to $8,625. They could also rethink how long they plan to travel. Right now, they've budgeted $20,000 a year for travel for the next 15 years. But if they scaled that back to just the first 5 years, while they're still feeling energetic, they could safely spend around $9,300 a month overall. Still not quite $10,000, but much closer, and without having to make major sacrifices. So here's the bottom line. Retirement planning isn't just about how much you have. It's about how you use it, with some smart decisions around investments, Social Security, housing, and discretionary spending. John and Linda came within a few $100s of their dream lifestyle. And more importantly, they can enjoy retirement with confidence, knowing they've built a plan that actually works. If you're thinking about retirement and wondering how much you can safely spend, you're not alone. Take a look at your own situation, your savings, your Social Security, your home, and ask what small changes could help you live more comfortably without added stress. What would you do if you were in John and Linda's shoes? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more helpful tips on Social Security, retirement income, and tax updates that matter to you.